Salam, به کانالم خوش اومدید. من Max هستم. Welcome back to my channel, and I'm also back at Persian. So this video is exactly because of that. So I'm going to tell you why I'm back at Persian, why I took a break, and what I've learned from it. So the idea is that you can also learn something from this video in case you've not learned what I've learned just now. And one of those things is actually a new way to motivate myself by tracking the things that I do in a little bit of a different way. So you can, of course, also try to copy that and see if it works for you too. So first of all, I ended the break with 388 hours. And now I'm at 391.8 hours. So that means I did almost 4 hours of studying after the break. And I'll show you down here when that was. So the break started here in this empty part, the 25th of May. And I started studying again a little bit the 4th of June. So I said, I am back. I started with looking at some words and phrases here, some words and phrases in the book. I enjoyed it, and I did enjoy it, and then I moved on to a new video. So I just did a little bit of watching. Then I say here, I wrote the first 10 of my 1,000 sentences. It was marvelous. So let me tell you all about that. Because when I figured out how to do this, I felt my motivation get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. Okay, so what I'm doing now is I'm trying to write 1,000 sentences, okay? And here are my first 60 sentences, and I'm writing them like flashcards a little bit. So I'm writing the Persian on here, and then I'm writing the Dutch translation on the other side. And I'm just writing down any kind of sentence, okay? So whenever I come across something in a book, so I am using the same books that I was using before, okay? I'm not changing the books because I did not finish the books yet. So I do stick to the rule that you should finish one thing before you do the next. It's just that I'm going to do something different with the books, and that is writing 1,000 sentences with them. So I'm writing, when I come across one of those books, I'm writing down a sentence that I find interesting, and then I Google small variations of the sentence. So for example, I encounter the sentence, my parents are married. Then I Google a variation, for example, my mother is married, I am married, I want to be married, I must be married, etc. Like that, I see the same words in different variations, in different combinations. And like that, I can actually learn in context just by writing sentences. So that's what I'm doing. And let me just adjust this. So that's what I'm doing. I also wrote down the alphabet, and I'm going to tell you now exactly why I did that, okay? So I took a break from Persian because I was getting tired of multiple things. I was getting tired of my lack of progress. I was also getting tired of being too busy, okay? So I'm running this YouTube channel. I'm learning Persian, of course. Then I'm also learning French. I'm taking French classes. Then I do lots of sports. I started Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and I'm a climber. And I also am writing a few books that people can use to learn Dutch. So all of this is a little bit too much. So that's why I decided to stop one thing, which was basically the channel for a little bit, and the learning Persian that is attached to this channel. And I focused on the books. So I did finish that, and it really helped. So I really liked being focused. But I also noticed that during this break, I almost couldn't help studying a little bit of Persian. So I had to stop myself to not read a little bit in Persian or watch a video in Persian. And in the end, I didn't until this 4th of June, and then I decided to end the break. So, during this break, I was also reading this book, okay, called Deep Work. And in this book, there's an explanation about what deep work is, and then there are some strategies about how you can employ it, how you can implement that, into your life. So deep work is is working in a non-distracted way on something meaningful for a longer period of time. So for me, that would be, for example, studying Persian. That can be deep work without, during that study session, checking WhatsApp or email or talk to someone, just nothing except for Persian. You can, of course, stand up, walk around, and do other things. That's okay, but your mind should be occupied only with the thing that you are working on. So if you're checking your email, that doesn't go, that's not okay, because then your mind will go to the email and to answering it, or to a certain problem that the email is mentioning, etc. So you need to be focused on something that is mindless. For example, you can go for a walk, that's okay, but then you need to keep thinking about that thing. So that's what deep work is. Now everybody loves deep work, but almost nobody's actually using it, right? And he's explaining strategies that you can use to implement this deep work. So I've been doing that during my break, during my Persian break, and that really helps. And there was a way of tracking the usefulness or the productivity of your deep work explained in the book that I really liked. And that's a motivation trick that I want to share with you. And that is the following. You should distinguish between lag measures of your progress. So those are things that you measure after they already happened. So for example, he gives the example of a store. If you want your customers to be happy with your products, you can ask the customers what they thought about your products, right? But you'll be asking them after they've already formed their opinion, after they've already decided what they thought, right? And your goal is that their thoughts and their feelings about your product are positive, of course, right? So basically, when you measure, you're already lagging behind on the goal you're trying to achieve. That's a lag measure. And then usually the lag measure also describes exactly what you want to improve. So in this case, you want customers to be happy. That's the whole goal of this measure, right? But you're measuring it later. Now, then there's the other type of tracking, of measuring your progress that you are trying to achieve with deep work, and that is lead measure. And that's a measurement of something that you can do directly, more or less immediately, that is going to improve the thing you're working on indirectly. So let me repeat, a lag measure is something that is the main goal of your deep work. So in my case, that is improve Persian. I want to get better at Persian, right? And therefore I'm tracking my hours, as I recommend all of you do. But actually I'm tracking my hours because I know that that's what's going to help me the most. So I'm putting 1 hour in my calendar after I've already studied an hour. So then I'm already too late, right? So what would be a lead measure in Persian? Well, that would be something that's directly changeable, that will improve my hours of studying Farsi as well. So for example, writing sentences. Okay, so that's why I decided to, instead of only tracking my hours, I'm also going to track the amount of sentences that I'm writing. And I'm doing that with writing because I haven't been writing a lot. I've been mostly reading and listening. I do know the script, I can write the script, but I make a lot of mistakes. And my writing is definitely lagging behind on the rest. So I know that to improve, I need to do something that I haven't been doing before. But all these other plans that I made were just not enough. Like reading more, writing a transcript. They were not enough to motivate me. They didn't make me happy. They didn't inspire me or anything. And also they were not very challengeable, right? They were not big challenges, I mean. So just thinking, okay, I have to do 30 minutes today of Farsi, in the end gets kind of boring, right? And I'm studying Farsi for fun, you know? I'm also having this channel for fun. I do want to help people, right? But my main goal, to be honest, is not to help people. My main goal is just because it's fun, you know? I want to share this with people and then I want feedback and all that. And if I don't get really motivated and monetized on this channel or something, I don't really care. It's just for fun. So Persian is also for fun. This channel is for fun. So I was like, what can I do that I enjoy? That is a lead measure that helps me to improve my Persian without focusing on improving my Persian itself. So that is writing 1,000 sentences. That's what I'm going to do. I suggest you think about your language that you are learning and your type of lead measure that motivates you. And you write down for yourself a challenging goal and then just see how long it takes to get there, right? And every time I'm writing a sentence, of course, I'm going to write down in my plan how long that's actually taking, and I will communicate with you how it's going. And I'm also completely allowed to do something else. If I want to watch a video or read a book, that's fine. But I'm going to try to prioritize writing these sentences. There's a 940 to go, so it will definitely take some more time. Okay, so that's the main thing that I've learned, is that I'm doing this for fun. The channel is for fun. I should focus on lead measures. I'm going to write 1,000 sentences. and I need focus in general, so that's why I'm going to focus now on still on the books, and this YouTube channel and learning Persian is just something extra for me. Okay, so this channel is for me, not necessarily for you, but I hope I help you, of course. Persian is fun. Okay, I'm doing it because of that, and also I don't want to spend too much time on YouTube if I can also spend the same time learning Persian, right? Because my main goal is to learn Persian, and this YouTube channel is to help that and to help others do the same. But Persian is already a hobby, and then the channel is even more of a hobby, right? So I'm going to try to combine a little bit of making videos and learning Persian by reading some of these sentences to you, okay? So you can expect a few videos where I'm just reading Persian sentences out loud. So if you're studying Persian, you can you can use those videos to learn Persian yourself. And if you're from Iran or Afghanistan, you can of course help me by correcting my sentences if you want. Now, um, that's basically all I wanted to say for today. So I hope that helped you. I really hope so. At least I loved to share it. And in the meantime, I'm still taking French classes, but Persian is much more lovely than French, of course. Au revoir. Khodafis.